AJ.
I'm Satin. And welcome to Rooted in Real,
where genuine conversation meets grounded perspective.
We did great.
We did do great. We didn't even mess up not one time that time, y'all.
We didn't. Thank you guys for joining us for episode 23.
22.
It's 23.
Is it 23?
Yes.
Did we say 21 the last one? No, we didn't. It's 20. You're right.
The one time I'm right. This is how you know I'm rarely right, because she didn't believe
she was wrong.
So thank you for joining us for episode 23.
23, where we're going to talk about prepartum us versus postpartum us.
Yes.
So if you were here last week, as you should have been, and if you haven't, you should go watch it. We talked about our expectations versus reality, the motherhood edition.
Yes.
So this time we're going to talk about who we were before we had kids and who we became after we had kids. And we'd also talked about how sometimes even the person you were after one kid isn't the person you were after the other kid.
Oh, yeah.
So if you had multiple children, you might have been a different person each time.
Yeah. The first time might have been, I'm young. If you're young. Oh, I'm okay.
You were real young.
Yes, I was real young. My body was healthy. I was bounced right back. The second one took me through the all. You hear me?
But
she made her stamp on the world.
But look at her.
Look at her.
Look at her. Okay, so what kind of person were you before you had a baby?
Well, I was a baby.
You were.
I was a baby. I was really young, and because I didn't have any expectations about motherhood, as I described in the first episode and the last episode, because I didn't think I would have children, there wasn't any pressure.
Okay.
So I was just going through life, working. I was married, just whatever, day to day, very carefree. Because I was young, my postpartum care was easy, but my prepartum, I didn't have a routine. I didn't have any expectations. I did have a birth plan. I did go to Lamar's classes.
Okay.
Yes, I did
didn't
do
even
all
do that.
Oh yeah, I did the Lamar's classes. I did parenting classes.
Appropriate.
Yes. I did all of the things that I don't think most 19-year-olds do.
Right.
I mean, there's probably some people that do it, but when they're
you
young,
don't have any guidance pre or beforehand.
Right.
You might not know that you should probably do these things.
That's
but you
right.
were like, I need to change the narrative of my family.
Yes, I need to change the narrative of my family. And also, again, as I described in the last episode, is that I didn't have I wasn't instinctively nurturing. Mm-hmm. And again, I didn't have examples. To me, I didn't have healthy examples of parenting and nurturing. Right. And so I did all of the things. I went to seminars, all of those things.
I read some books.
Yeah. Oh, I
was on Pinterest, because we talked about this last time. Google was cool, but some stuff came up, some stuff didn't. But I got a lot of stuff from Pinterest.
See, I didn't even know Pinterest was a thing.
Yeah,
I just thought that was like where you post pictures.
Right. That's what it seems like. Like you just, and I didn't really post anything. I would just save. I had all these different, they still there, but I had all these different categories.
Yeah.
And at first I started off when I was in college using Pinterest, and I was using it as a distraction when I was in class. And I made it was called Funny. And I just had funny things all over it. And then I would show all the funny things that are on Pinterest, like funny memes.
Yeah.
So I had that. I had a whole category for that I would show my friends who supposed to be paying attention in class, even in PT school. We'll be paying attention, and we look at like we all showing each other or sending each other these memes. When we supposed to be writing notes and paying attention.
And you sending funny comedy memes.
Yeah. But I am a PT now. It worked out. So yeah, I use Pinterest a lot because they had a lot of things about birth plans and such like that. So I did that. But it had information on it too.
What to expect when you're expecting? I read that.
I think Tisha probably gave me that book.
I think probably all the women of my generation, all the exennials probably.
Exennials? Is that what we call y'all?
Yeah, zennials.
Ew.
Yeah.
Gen X.
We're between Gen X and millennials.
Yes. Ew.
The little small little niche right there.
Yeah, right in the middle.
Yeah.
So yeah, prepartum. Before babies, I was out here just doing whatever. I just got a job. I probably been working for about a little less than 2 years before I got pregnant with Jackson.
You lived your life. Oh, steady paper, chasing the paper.
Yes, chasing that paper.
Chasing the paper.
That's what I was doing. Going to work. So I've been in school for forever. Met the man. Then came here to go to work.
Yeah.
So it really was, and I could just do whatever I wanted when I felt like it.
Yes.
That was the freedom.
I had
nice.
A very short window of freedom.
Very short.
I mean, not even just because I was 19. I mean, I was an adult for a very long time.
Very true.
Before I became a legal adult.
Yeah, very true. This dog is right up under you.
He ain't bothering me. He was there earlier. But yes, so there was a very limited time. And so all of my high school friends were still my friends. That's why my oldest is named after my best friend. She took her middle name.
I was gonna say, because her first name is named. It's real close to yours.
Yeah. Well, she took her middle name. My best friend's first name. My daughter has her middle name.
Okay.
The second half of her first name.
Oh Lord.
Or her middle name. I don't know.
It's okay.
I think it's the same middle name.
It's okay. But yeah, prepartum, you
Yes.
really don't have a lot of things that you're worried about. You don't have to worry about another person.
Yeah.
If, you want to go out to eat tonight, we just go out and do it. We don't have to
just go
think
out
about
to
it
do it.
twice. You say, yeah, let's do what we want. You want to go to Atlanta for the weekend?
Yeah.
Sure. Chattanooga for the weekend? Sure.
You know
Just go where you want to go.
What's crazy is all of the things like going clubbing and all that stuff. I did all of those things with I had a kid because my village showed up because all I did was work.
Yeah.
And so they were like, oh yeah, she definitely needs a break.
Yeah. That's very nice.
And then, I had a blast.
Had a blast.
Had a blast. Lived my
won't-
life.
we won't talk about it too much. But yeah, so then
Yes.
postpartum. How were you different postpartum between your first and your second kid?
Postpartum, my village, the same friends that I had before became like they had to figure out how to be a parent too.
Yeah. So
Because
they
y'all
weren't-
babysitting.
Got it.
So postpartum, me again, I still went out and I still hung out with my friends, but it was more intentional. It was, okay, we got to do these things between these hours.
Yeah, I got this much time.
I got this much time. This is, my kid's going to be away here. I need to do this. So it was more scheduling, more planning, more intentional about how I spent my time. I didn't have any health issues. I wasn't depressed.
Yeah.
I wasn't, I was more focused. I mean, I was already.
I was about to ask about mindset. Like,
Right,
how do
yeah.
you feel like your mindset changed?
Right, my body was good. My mindset was just. The only thing that I changed is I already didn't take a lot of junk anyway before, but when I had that kid, there were a lot of hard no's, and I'm talking about hard no's about parenting, and hard no's about what I will accept. I would accept it before I had her. Even like when I was pregnant, I would accept it because it was like, it doesn't affect me. But when I had her, I started looking at things a lot differently.
Yeah, things
and
that
so
would affect her and her
right.
watching you take that kind of stuff in and be okay.
That's
with
right.
it.
That's right. And then also because I was married really young, before I did everything, like the division of labor in the household. I did everything. I didn't have any expectations about my spouse at the time doing anything. I just didn't care because it was like, oh, well, I do it. I'm free, blah, blah, blah. But when I had at postpartum me, oh, no, you doing the laundry. You washing the dishes, you whatever it was that needed to be done. You have to do those things because now all of my attention is focused on this little life that I'm
Yes.
trying to nurture, which I have no idea how to do.
I'm thinking real hard every day about
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Okay, so what about between first and second?
Okay, second kid.
Uh-huh.
Second kid's 9.5 years later.
Right?
I'm married to somebody else.
Uh-huh.
This person does everything. And I had to do nothing. But mentally and physically, sister was shot. Sister was shot. You hear me? Just shot. First of all, let me say, I have to say this because by the time I got ready to have the second, we had been trying for a little while, and there were some medical things that had occurred that said I couldn't get pregnant again. So I was like, okay, well, that wasn't a big deal. I wanted to have a kid, but okay,
If it didn't happen.
couldn't happen. I already got a kid, no big deal. But so I started to go to school.
Oh, yeah.
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 Yeah, went to school. And the thing was, let me tell you something, people, about this fasting and praying. That we were having a fast at church, and we had been praying before we did the fast. We did the fast first, and then we did like 40 days of prayer afterwards. And then we did fasting and prayer together. It was just like, that's how, at the time, I don't remember what was going on. And so anyway, during this entire time, however many months it was, my youngest, at the time, she was 8, however old she was, almost 9. She was like, I want a sibling. She had just kept saying she wanted a sibling. She wanted a sibling. And at the time,
Out of the mouths of babes.
out the mouth of babe, I'm trying to teach her how to pray for the things that she wants.
Bad move.
Bad move. Bad move. You hear me? And I was like, if you want something, you go to God. And because I was also teaching her, because one day she asked me, she was like, when you get it, like if you do something wrong or you hurt my feelings, who do I tell to tell on you? Like, there was no thought in her mind to tell my mom or my dad because I wasn't close to them and, that kind of thing. But so it wasn't like, let me go tell my grandmother or my grandfather. Who do I tell on you? That was her question. I was like, go to God. He's the one that's going to control me. He's my father. He's going to do the things. So she went to God about everything. So again, when it came to, I want this, I want that.
She said, my mama ain't giving me no sibling. I need you to work on that.
And she was very specific. She wanted a little sister.
Wow.
And she prayed. That was her prayer during the 40 days of prayer, during the 40 days of the fast, during the 40 days of prayer and fasting.
She was getting that baby.
She was getting that baby.
And she did.
And the doctor said no. And God said yes. And at this time, I was going to school. And so it came, she was planning. Like, we had been planning to have her. And I was doing hormone replacement therapy, and I was doing everything you can to get pregnant. And so I decided to stop all of that. And them 4 days of prayers came through. Whoosh, whoosh. If y'all can, whoosh, it came through. I was in school. I was sick. Found out I was pregnant. And my husband already knew it. He already knew it. I didn't get sick. I was knocking them energy drinks back. Them 5-hour energy.
Pro baby.
Do it like this. Knocked out. Drinking them, going to sleep. Never happened ever. It was that fatigue.
Them babies, boy, that first trimester take you down.
Man, took me all the way down. And so anyway, the pregnancy came as a blessing because we had been planning to have one. And then the moment we stopped.
Doing all the planning and all
the trying, the prayers that we had prayed previously and the prayers that were going on actively from our oldest, came through. And so at the time, I wasn't joyous. I wasn't happy because I had went back to school.
You'd already decided that, hey, this is not the path, and I'm going to go a different way.
Right. And because she was taking me through there, like, I couldn't go to school and do it. Like, I know some people can. They managed through. Kudos to you.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. And also, I was a high-risk pregnancy. Super high risk. And so I had to drop out of school. And so I was unhappy about that.
Yeah.
So prepartum me.
Before that second one,
I was living my life. I'm talking about
living my life like it's golden.
Living my life like it's golden. I was doing it. And so then when I found out I was pregnant, it took a detour.
Yeah.
It took a planned detour because it was planned, but it was a planned detour. And I had to stop going to school. And so at that time, I wasn't necessarily joyous, but it didn't last long. I mean, and I say it didn't last long. I mean, I'm talking about I had the thought and it was like the next day, all right, you can't do that. Because at this time, I was more spiritually mature to understand that the emotions that I was experiencing, the things I was doing to my body
was going to affect your baby.
Was going to affect my baby.
Yes.
And I had to change. So, yeah. That second one. That's what changed. The thought process of I have to be intentional about even what I think. Not just what I eat, not just what I do to my body, but my emotions. Mm-hmm. Well, how about you? What was from the first one and the second one? I know.
So postpartum me after the first one, I didn't think I was going to be that kind of mom that was going to like not let dad do stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I was.
Yeah.
And I've told William, I have told you that I'm sorry about that, but I am sorry about that.
Yeah.
At the time, and we talked about it even before we decided to have a second one, that I wasn't going to do that. I wasn't going to do it again. I was going to be better the next time.
Right.
I already, in my head, I was like, I'm going to do better.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to let him handle stuff and do all these things. So I ended up being a lot more, I don't want to say controlling. Like, it wasn't like I said, oh, give me the baby. I would just pick him up.
Yeah.
I would just do all the things and I would just handle it. I didn't give him an opportunity. If he, didn't scooped up. And he slept in the bed with us for a year. He was like 13 or 14 months old when he got out. I didn't make that mistake twice, but the other one got out a lot sooner.
Yeah.
So that second one, that postpartum was a lot harder.
Yeah.
So the story for that one, I'm gonna make it short. So we were out in Alabama visiting family, and I woke up in the middle of the night, thought I was peeing on myself. It was blood, like gushing out of me. So in my head, as I'm sitting here and I've realized that like this is a lot of blood and I'm already disconnected and told myself this baby is like, there's no way. I just lost this baby. Like it's gone. Yeah. Right. So I done called. I had to call. We were at my husband's, at my father-in-law's guest house, and I had to call him, and he didn't came in. This is my favorite part of the whole thing. It almost made me laugh, even when I'm sitting on the toilet with blood. Like it almost made me laugh. And he went, "Oh Lord." He done called his sister and 911. He's like,
I don't know what to do.
Oh Lord. I almost cracked a smile, y'all, but I couldn't at the time. But she done came in there and she done prayed for me.
Yeah.
And she did all the things. And so I go to by ambulance, and it turns out that baby's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. But it didn't change. It didn't change a whole lot in my head.
Yeah.
So that was probably the start of some depression that was about to like really set in. Because I was like, what is happening? Because
Yes.
at that time, I was going to have a home birth.
Yeah.
With this kid.
Yeah.
Because the first kid, I wanted to do a home birth with him, but I was too scared.
Yeah.
So I went to the hospital, had that kid in a couple hours, pushed him out in 9 pushes, and I was like, I could have done this at home.
Yeah, you could have done it at home.
And I really could have done what I wanted to do.
Yeah, my
Didn't
first
happen.
one, it was easy.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I'm going to do it this time. So I had been going to see a midwife and everything. I'd already had my 20-week anatomy scan, and they had told me that my placenta was a little bit anterior or whatever, and that I needed to come back just to make sure that it moved.
Right.
Because if it didn't, then I wouldn't be able to have the home birth. I would have had to go to the hospital and
Right.
probably have a C-section. So I was like, man, that's kind of a bummer. But he was like, oh, 90% of these from the position, they move.
Right.
So before I even had a chance to go back, this whole thing happens in Alabama. We go to a facility and they tell me that I have what's called placenta previa, where your placenta is covering your cervix. But I also have, so my placenta did not move within like 6 weeks, almost 5 weeks of that appointment. It did not move anywhere. And I had a vasa previa. And I was like, what's that? So it didn't show up on my 20-week anatomy scan, but it is now showing up loud and clear.
Loud and
on
clear.
this one.
Yeah.
That is when the baby's umbilical cord is not wrapped up in the placenta like it's supposed to be. So it's not
Right.
protected. It's just free flowing. So if I had had that baby naturally, I could have cut off the blood supply to him and he would
Yes.
have died in childbirth.
Yes. How traumatic.
How traumatic. It's right. So then they get everything, everything stops. We find out that most likely the bleeding that I was experiencing was from the placenta previa. So it
Okay.
was not his blood, it was mine.
Right.
Now, also, I don't know what this baby is at this time. I don't know if it's a boy or girl. We decided to wait until we
Y'all
birthed because
did.
William was going to catch the baby and he was going to tell me what it was.
Right. It's
Right?
going to be a whole thing.
So
He
it's
had
going to
a
be a whole
plan.
thing. Had a plan. And everything said nope. So then we find out, well, now you have to have a C-section. There's no way to do this. I end up coming back here. And they say the plan was I was going to go to the hospital at 32 weeks, have the baby at 34.
Yeah.
Because 34 is when they can normally eat out of the womb.
Right.
So I was like, all right, fine. They wanted to monitor me for 2 weeks. Cool. About that it was 29 weeks, I started bleeding again.
Yep.
And not like a trickle. I had a trickle after I left there. They said, that's okay. I started bleeding a little bit more and a little
Right.
bit more. So I go to the hospital. They keep me for observation. Long story short, there's a baby at the end of the night because I didn't
Yes.
stop bleeding.
Yes. It was quite a quick turnaround.
It was quite a quick turnaround. And
I
the
got a
doctor
call. It
even,
was like, we going here. Everything's fine.
everything's cool. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
okay,
Like,
cool.
I'll be back. I'll be home tomorrow.
Yeah.
Was not home tomorrow, home in about 4 days after I had the C-section.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, I had a natural birth the first time, so I was scared of the C-section situation.
Yes.
So, that happened. So at this whole time between these 2 weeks, I'm like, I don't want to say I'm in denial, but I'm probably in denial.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not really thinking about it too heavy. So I'm not like anxious about it, but I'm also just kind of like you would think somebody gave me a Xanax.
Yeah.
Because I just was kind of like
Detached from it
real
all.
detached from the whole thing. Like, if the kid's okay right now, but it might not be. Like in
Yeah.
my head, this whole thing probably wasn't going to go well, and it is what it is.
Right.
Like maybe I just wasn't meant to have this baby.
Yeah.
So then I have the C-section. Thought I was going to die there, but they had already given me some medicine, child. So I'm laying there, and as soon as this happened to me, William came in and said, "I just talked to the teacher. She told me to tell you that you're going to feel like you can't breathe, but you need to try to breathe anyway." And at the same time, he was telling me that the
It started
epidural was creeping up on my chest, and I was like,
Yeah.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. And so I said, whatever y'all got, can you give
It's
it to
not
me?
funny.
At the time, I was like, and so they give me whatever, and then so I'm laying there. Oh.
Euphoria.
Now I'm like looking at the lights. I'm like, some people
Look at the lights.
I'm just looking around. So then the C-section happens, and then I look over and I was like, man, in my head I was like, man, I'm dizzy. So I looked up, blood pressure like 80 something over 40 something, and I was like, in my head, I'm like, in the same voice, I'm like, Lord, if this is the way I go, just make sure William can take care.
This
just
is
let
not
the baby
funny.
live and let William be able to take care of both of them. I'm looking at it dropping, and she's like, go ahead and give her that blood that I had y'all. Like, she already had everything prepared.
yeah,
she
she
already
knew.
had me typing screen and everything before I got there because she realized that my hemoglobin was already kind of low, and she
Right.
wanted it to be good. So she was already prepared for all
Yeah,
this.
she was
She's like,
ready.
give her fluids with all things. And I'm like, okay. And then the baby comes out, and then William tells me, I was like, well, I said, can my husband at least be the person to tell me what this baby is? Because I'm like, this is the only thing I'm going to get.
This is the only thing I'm
going to
get. The compromise is compromised.
And so he's like, oh, wow. And I'm looking at him with his paws. And he goes, it's a boy. I was like, oh, all right, 2 boys it is then, because this is it.
This is it. Not again.
This is done. So then I said, he ain't crying. Girl,
fun.
I'm so drugged. I'm just like, he ain't crying. So he was intubated and all this. So he spent 2 months in the NICU. He was born in 29 weeks and like 2 days. He was 3'8". I know that sounds real big. Everybody keeps telling me that was real big for a 29-weeker. I'm glad he was big. Maybe helped him because he came home when he would have been 37 weeks.
Yeah.
So after that, the whole I'm not going to control everything thing was out the window.
Yeah, it's out the window. Everything is getting controlled now.
This is 2021.
Yeah.
COVID is still a thing.
Yes.
And I'm scared
Yep.
of this premature baby getting a disease.
Right.
Getting anything from anybody from anywhere. And I was just worried all the time. Anxious all the time.
Yes.
I had never even, so like that trail that's by my house, there's a trail down here that like, it's by some water, by like the river or whatever.
Yeah.
I had never really to myself thought, what if my kid rolls down the hill?
Yeah.
Now,
That's all you thought
every
about.
time we go, I'm like, what if he, like, I can't swim. Well, what if he rolls down the hill?
Yeah.
gonna save
All
him?
of the unnatural fears or,
Yes.
just
So,
unrealistic fears.
Yes, and then like dropping your kid down the stairs. Like there was a whole lot of
Yeah.
anxiety and depression that came along after that second one that I did not have after the first one.
Yeah.
Because of this experience. I was very quiet. Even William got me in my 6-week appointment. He got
Yeah.
me one 2 weeks earlier because he was like,
Yeah.
and I went there, told
You
her
were
what I
kinda
was-
detached.
I was
Yeah.
detached, but I mean, if she had told me, if she had put me on medication, I wouldn't have taken it
Yeah.
because I didn't want to contaminate my milk.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yep.
this baby, because in my head, this baby needs this breast milk.
That's right.
He needs this breast milk.
You got to do
because
all
he's-
you can to make
because
him
he's
survive.
premature. I
Right.
need to make sure he makes it. So it was all a lot of irrational thoughts and such, and I didn't really realize it either.
Yeah.
And you would think because
Everybody
I'm in
around
healthcare-
you did.
Yeah, you would think because I was in
Yeah.
healthcare, I would figure it out, but I
Yeah.
didn't. And
Right.
the doctor was just like, well, sometimes we all a little bit sad. I was on some depression medication, but if you think like you're gonna feel better, I was like,
Right.
I think I'll feel better. Like he hadn't even come home yet when I
Yeah.
went to this appointment. I was like, I think I'll
Yeah.
feel better once he comes home.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't feel better once he came home.
You did not.
It got worse when he came
But
home.
you did get through it.
I did get through it.
But getting through it was hard to watch because there's only so much you could do. Like there was only
Yeah.
so much you could do because you were so detached from it.
Very detached.
Yeah.
And very, I don't know, like the way, like if I just felt like I looked like this all the time.
Yeah.
Just, that's how I felt on the inside. It
Yeah.
had to be how I looked on the outside.
It was how you were on the outside, and I think that's why I said everybody on the outside knew, not just because I think because we were able to understand the situation better.
Yeah.
And we didn't give birth. We didn't have the experience. We might have been on the outside, even your husband being there, but
Yeah.
none of us
And it was
were
terrible for him too. So
Right,
it's like
yeah. Yes, it was.
I didn't know how to help him. I didn't know how to help me.
Right.
I was just here, just trying to make sure everybody stayed alive.
Yeah, you did a good job.
Thanks. And my stepdaughter was here, and I
Yeah.
just trying to make sure everybody stayed alive.
Everybody stay alive. I had a traumatic birth experience with the second one, which is why I decided not to. I mean, again, as I said before, I had a high risk pregnancy, and so it was not great. And I actually went for I don't remember how many weeks I was, but I think I want to say I had like maybe 4 more weeks before she was due.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went to the appointment, they were like, yeah, you need to go to the hospital right now.
Time to do things.
Time to do
It's go
things.
time.
And I was like, wait, well, why? You have excess.
Hold up.
You have excess fluid and, all of the stuff that I had been dealing with. Oh, yeah, it's came to a head now, which I'm glad I went to that appointment, and I wasn't going to go. But my pastor at the time, she took me. She took me
Yeah.
to the appointment, and I was like, oh, we got to go to the hospital. She's like, wait a minute. But she rallied the troops, so to
Yeah.
speak. My Mimi, she really stepped up. I had a great team around me, and
Yeah, you
I
did.
wish you would have had that. I remember, I think I said that to you. I wish because it was COVID and it was the pandemic,
Yeah.
you didn't have.
So I had
Yeah.
William, but that was the only person. I could only have one person there
Right,
with me
right.
the whole time.
Right. And I mean, I had them there, and it was such a difficult time, and they were trying to stop me from going into labor.
Yeah.
Because it was because I was such high risk, and they were like, we don't have this, and we might have transferred you here. And it was so much stuff. And I was like, I'm not going anywhere. And then I was very stubborn, and they were like, your doctor is not on call. You got this other doctor. I don't know who he is.
You need to call mine.
You need to call mine. They called mine, and they was like, she was out of town. Like, this is 4 weeks I'm supposed to be. She got time. And so I was like, I need somebody else. who in your office? And she happened to have one of her what is it? Not the
Like the midwife?
yes, the midwife. She had a midwife. Her practice was a smaller practice, and she had a midwife, and her midwife name was Savannah. I did not name my daughter after her, but they had the same name. And so they were like, well, we don't allow midwives
To deliver babies.
to deliver babies. I said, you going today? I don't care nothing about what your rule. You done heard what I said about rules and boundaries and standards.
I'm breaking your rules.
When they get my bottom line, I don't care. And that's what I told them, and I said it just like that. And then they were like, well, we just can't. And I looked at my husband, I said, call Mimi. Call Mimi. Because we're going to need somebody here with Jesus to tell these folks what I want. Because every word that is not holy is about to come out of my mouth.
Ooh-wee.
And, you know, she came in after I had been there, I think I want to say a day, or maybe I had been a day in there, and it was just crazy. It was just a lot going on. I mean, blood pressure. Like, when they say that women are on the brinks of death, it's
rough.
That's really rough. And so I remember, like, what I experienced when you started experiencing the things that you were going through with your second one. I remember thinking to myself, I know how she feels. Like, I know yours was a lot more extreme because of how early you had to give birth to him and the traumatic experience, and then not having anybody around that you could support. I think that was the biggest thing for me. I was like, I experienced something that was traumatic, but I had the ability to have people around me. And my husband, he was very much, I don't care. This is what we're going to do, what's best for her. But when Mimi came in, she was like, okay, because she's a retired nurse, she was like, I need y'all to do this, you need to do that. Like, she just came in, and she's not somebody that comes out of her house at a certain time. And I don't remember what time it was, 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock. It was late. She shouldn't have been on nobody's road, but she had been up praying because the Lord told her to get up and pray. And she came, and I remember having that feeling, and I remember when you were experiencing the things you were going through, I wanted to be that. That's why I was like, I'm getting to this hospital. Because she need to feel the presence of the Lord. Not that I couldn't have prayed when I was at home. I definitely could have, but I felt like, and I was just me, I just felt like I need to be where you were to be able to pray, even if I was just in the same
she done broke
vicinity.
in, y'all.
I did break into them people's place. I don't care nothing about the COVID rules when it came to that point.
She broke in.
Yeah, I broke in, and
I looked up and I was like, what you doing here?
and I brought my holy oil too.
Yeah, she
and
did.
I was up in there saturating that place. That one was talking to me. I was like, in the name of Jesus. She was talking to me. I was rubbing oil on her. Yes, God. I said, do you have any contact with her? And she was like, oh, yes, I go in there. And they was telling me, oh, we see the baby, and he's so proud. I said, yes, in the name of Jesus. Give me your hand.
Touching everybody.
Girl, I was praying. I was so praying because I know what that feeling felt like to have people around me that were praying. And to feel it. I felt their presence. I felt their prayers because they were physically there. My pastor was in the room when I gave birth.
Yeah.
She held my hand. She was, when I gave birth to my first kid, I didn't have my mom in the room with me because I wasn't close to my mom. It was just me and my husband at the time.
Right.
And then my brother was not supposed to be there. He told them, you cannot come in. She just gave birth. He said, I don't care nothing about that either. He came in there with my first kid, so I felt it. And so with my second kid, it was kind of traumatic, and she wasn't breathing when she was born.
Yeah.
And, my husband did what he did, and then she started breathing. My husband was like, in the name of Jesus. I don't know what he did. I'm just saying that.
You was out too.
I was out too. But yeah, it was traumatic for me. And I remember afterwards, like, I think I passed out. Either I passed out or I just was so exhausted.
Yeah.
Yeah, so exhausted from it. I was like, you know what? Afterwards, I told him, we are not doing this again.
Yeah, this is it.
This is it. This is for real it. And I mean, I didn't even gain weight until I was like almost 9 months. With her. First of all, I didn't find out till I was like 5 months.
Like 5 months pregnant.
Yeah. That is crazy.
Already a while.
But I should have recognized it, as I said, them 5-hour energy drinks.
Because that first trimester will put you down.
Man.
You going to sleep. You going to sleep.
Look, people, if y'all don't know if you're pregnant, you start all of a sudden being exhausted. I ain't talking about the hunger and just eating stuff.
You just cannot keep your eyes open.
If you
There's a difference between when you have no kids and you're tired and you can just lay down and prop your feet up and go to sleep, and then when you already got kids and you had that second. Oh Lord! So Jackson was like 4.
Yeah.
Or he was almost 4 when I first got pregnant with Jaden, and Elena was here, and she was still doing virtual school.
Yeah,
and I still distinctly remember she needed to take a test one of them days, and I just could not hold my eyes open. So I was like, I sat her on the couch. I put Jackson. He saw the iPad at the time. I put him in the corner of the couch, and I laid in front of him. So he wouldn't be moving around,
right?
And took a nap. And then
Girl.
when she finished her test, she woke me up. Jackson was still sitting behind me on his iPad, and everybody was done. I'm like, this is thank you
too
for the
much.
nap. Thank you for the nap. Because I just can't handle this.
Yes.
I was so tired.
The second kid, when you have the second kid, all of the logistics surrounding trying to, prepartum you, trying to take care of the life that's inside of you, trying to take care of you mentally, and then trying to take care of the other kid
that you already had.
And then all of the other additional responsibilities that you have, everything getting left by the wayside except for me trying to keep this life alive, and then that life that I already done got. Alive. That's it.
I'm eating cereal today, thanks. I feel like cereal. I'm eating cereal.
No milk, just dry cereal.
You ain't no milk. I had milk.
So okay, me and lactate is friends.
No, we actually drink pea protein milk. We drink Ripple milk.
I've never heard of that.
I don't like milk, but like if I'm gonna eat some cereal, we use Ripple milk. It's got like 8 grams of protein. It's got protein and less sugar and all that kind of stuff.
She have a lot of strange stuff. She be saying, "Did you no? Why are you eating that?" One day, avocado is not strange, but her husband was eating an avocado on something. Was it breakfast or something? And I was like, "What do you get out of eating that avocado?"
You did say that.
And he was like, the look on his face was like
the nutrients,
and I was like, "Really?"
Yeah.
And you decided to eat that for breakfast out of all the things,
on like top of his eggs and stuff. I think
out of all the delicious, non-nutritional things you eat.
I think avocados are tasty.
And I love avocados.
Salt,
Well, I don't love them. I like them. They're okay.
Smoked paprika.
I was questioning all his life choices, and he just was like,
he was so confused.
He was so confused.
What you mean? But yeah. But listen, pea protein. So
yes.
pea protein.
Yes.
But anyway, so the way you're talking about people being around for that situation, I think it would have been like I wish that William had somebody in that room with him.
Yes.
Because like I said, I had already checked out.
Yeah.
So I wasn't there for me. I wasn't there for him.
I agree.
And he had nobody to be there for him in the situation. Like he watched what could have been the both of us die.
Yeah.
Like he thought that he was gonna lose us both.
Yes, I agree. So it was quite serious.
Right. It was very serious.
Yeah.
So like I wish that he had someone that he could have talked to about that, or that somebody that would have been able to check on him.
Yeah.
Or somebody that had the capacity to understand that he needed somebody to check on him.
Now I do remember during that time me praying incessantly for you and him, particularly him, just because he and I are very similar in that we don't share a lot. Like I see, you would think because I talk all the time that I share, but I don't.
No.
I don't. And so because I was familiar with him more so. Well, I mean by that point but I recognized that he didn't. And my husband also doesn't talk to people and have people that he discusses. And I remember going to my husband, and I mean he knew some of the situation. He really didn't know a lot because I'm one of them friends. If it's something you want my husband to know, you better tell him.
Because you ain't gonna tell him.
Because I am not gonna tell him. And that was something I remember, I think you asked me, did you tell Elder? And I was like, no, do you want me to tell him? Yeah, I almost died.
Yeah,
and
go
I was
let
like,
him know.
All I did was tell him to pray for AJ. But for your husband, I did go to him and I specifically gave him things to pray for. And as a man, because I know that sounds crazy, not that a woman can't pray, all of that he can. And
it's just he understands better the position that he was in.
The position that he was in as a father, as a man, as a protector,
having to just watch it happen.
Having to watch it happen. And I remember going to him and I was like, these are the things, this is what's happening, what's going on. And I think my husband actually fasted. I want to say he did. Don't hold me to that, but I want to say that he did because he's very serious about that, especially when it comes to the mental health of men. And I remember going to him about that. And maybe that's, I wish he could have been more there, but my husband is also very respectful of people's space. Yeah. And he didn't want to invade on William's space, But I told him, I said, William's not going to ask you for help, and neither is AJ. They're in the moment trying to do these things. And he's like, I know, but at some point I'll reach out to him. And I think he eventually did. Some kind of way. I don't know. But yes, I wish he would. I agree.
I wish he had more. But the postpartum me is still here. She's working it out. She's better than she was 5 years ago, but she's still working herself out. Okay.
But you know what? I've said this to you before, and I remember when I said this to you in the midst of it, you were like, "I don't see it. I don't even think that's ever gonna happen." It was such a transformational time for you. That I
feel like it went in the wrong direction.
It didn't. Anything that God allows to happen, it always works purposeful for our good, and that did work perfectly for your good. It caused you to open up a lot more. I think even if there may have felt like a division or a separation between you and your spouse, it did eventually bring y'all closer together, because that's what situations do. They can either tear you apart or bring you together, and sometimes it takes a little while for you to see how it brought you together. But I also feel like it sharpened a lot of things that you hadn't yet sharpened in your mind, in your heart, in your emotions, and even in your relationship with God. It really did, because I remember, you don't remember it, but I remember I saying, "Oh, I pray for you." He was like, "Yeah, please do." Like, you had never ever asked me to pray for you. You have never ever said anything about
do something
prayer.
about it, please.
Yeah, like there were so many.
Because I wasn't praying for myself.
Yes.
I was like, you did. I was definitely of the mindset, you did this to me.
Yeah.
Like all I wanted to do was have this baby and mind my business, and you wouldn't let me. So I was mad. I was mad at God, and I wasn't talking to him. I was like a little kid. I'm closing my door. Like, I'm not talking to you, because why is this happening to me?
And that's a big part.
I ain't did nothing to you.
That's a big part that I don't think a lot of people speak about. We're talking about the natural aspect of pre and postpartum, but we're not talking about what if you are someone that loves God, that follows and ascribes to his rules, and you are trying your best to have faith. You're trying your best to believe, but then something happens that shake up your world. We both have been in those situations in different reasons. Yours was around this time, and I remember telling you, I'm not going to give you the God in the way that the way you probably need God, because what I recognize, and I think, and I've said this before on this podcast, sometimes people don't want to hear God, even if they need to hear God.
Yeah.
The way you have,
I ain't want to hear none of that.
Right, you need to make it palatable to them, and the way you do that is in so many different ways, and that's what I feel like I brought to the table with you. And I remember saying, we were having a conversation, and you said such said this, and I was like, yeah, I probably shouldn't say this. That's what I said. I said I probably shouldn't say this, but don't take that. Don't take it right now. You don't care about any of that. You are valid in your reasons to not hear any of those things, and we do that a lot of times when we're Christians. But that's such a good perspective to have, is that right now I know I need God, but I don't want to hear it, God, because I'm mad, I'm upset, I'm angry.
Because in my mind, you allowed this to happen to me.
Yeah, you allowed this to happen. Why couldn't you stop this?
Yeah, like what? So and once I decided that I was being silly and I need to get my life together, and you can't shut God out, because what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Then it became the thought of, okay, Lord, this happened for a reason. Help me see what the reason is. Right. Like, if it's supposed to be to help somebody else by telling the story of how I let it separate us, but and I shouldn't have. Like, maybe I might not have been so depressed and anxious had I just continued and like even yelled or said something to God, like, hey, like help me, please, or something. But like, I just let the whole relationship fall by the wayside, and I would always encourage anybody that's going through postpartum, anything traumatic like that, to not let go of God, to not let go of your faith, and to not put God to the wayside, and remind yourself that yes, this was allowed to happen to you, but there's a reason for it. Like, you made it through. What's the reason? That's right. There's always a reason. There's always a reason. And, and I mean, when people say that, they say, well, what is the reason? You have to look at it from a detached point of view. You can't look at it like, oh, this is a reason. I still don't know, by the way, but, and maybe I will never know. Right. Well, everything that you do is a testimony. Everything that you experience is a testimony. There is somebody out there that's probably listening to this podcast or will listen to this podcast that has experienced that exact same thing, don't know how to place their feelings or emotions, and they're going to be able to find a release from that. And that's why I've told you, when you're ready for it, that's what you should do. You should share it. Like, when you are speaking with other women and you're having conversations, it's going to come a point in time, because there's nothing I have experienced in my life that I haven't already been able to share with other people. They just come across. I was in the store the other day, and on Monday, me and my husband was out, and on my birthday. But I was out, and this one was talking, and I was just having a full conversation with her about whatever it was we were talking about, and I was like, oh, it's like I had an aha moment, and I was like, oh, I remember this such and such happened, and I got so excited about it, and the conversation started. She was just talking. She was just venting. And by the time we ended the conversation, she was like, I'm so glad I met you. And it was nice talking. I was like, you too. And we went away, and my husband was like, you? He was like looking at me like, you're really excited about that conversation. You know her, that kind of thing. Because you never really are. I never really am. I might also have something to do with the endorphins from it being my birthday. But also, I just felt like the aha moment, it came through. And that was like probably 20 years in the making of a testimony. And I was like,
There is a purpose for everything.
Yeah, there is. And maybe this will reach someone to help remind you that you don't let God go when you go through something traumatic.
I've told you this before. I really believe it was because your relationship with God wasn't as strong as you had been praying for it to be. You had prayed, like how we talked about in our last episode, praying for peace. You had prayed for a lot of things, because I remember us having conversations on our walk and just having conversations when we spoke on Fridays about how you wanted to be closer to God, and there was so many things that you wanted to understand, and you know, all of these things. And I remember telling you, girl, be careful about asking for that. Be careful about seeking those things. And the reason why is because how else are you going to get close to God if not through experience?
Yeah.
And the experiences that you have are not going to be the pleasant ones, or not going to be the ones that, you know, it happens today, is resolved tomorrow. These are...
It's been 5 years. I'm still resolving. I'm still resolving.
But also, I will say, not just for you. The closeness that me and you have been able to obtain, the close level that we've been able to obtain has been, I feel like, because there were some traumatic things that you experienced. And I was like, I need to like lock in, because I wanted to be there for you. But how else am I going to be there for you if I'm pouring from an empty cup?
Right.
And it made me fill my cup up, because I was like,
she gonna need some help.
Well, not just because you're gonna need some help. I remember like just consciously thinking about it. I know what it felt like. I'm here with my family, and I didn't have my family.
Yeah.
I had other people in my village that helped me, but I didn't have the people that I felt like I should have had closest to me. And you didn't have your family at all near you. Your family had to come to where you were. And I thought, well, if she doesn't have it, I'll be a great substitute, and I'm going to do whatever is necessary. Again. Oh. You know, and I just feel...
I got a friend in you.
That is going to be the running theme to these last 2 episodes. I have got to hear that child sing this song, because he already sings everything so cutely. When he be singing those songs from Carl's.
Oh, yeah, he does sing from Bluey.
Yeah, Bluey.
He sings all kinds of stuff, but yeah.
Yes. So I think it's important that, because other people were on the outside looking, and other people were able to step up and be a village.
Yeah, they were. My mama showed up, and then she stayed the whole 6 weeks until... Like I was, I was supposed to be driving again, and she drove me to the hospital every day. Yeah. And picked me up every day.
She did. I remember, the first time I met your parents was at the hospital. Your mom.
Yeah.
And your sister.
Drove me every day.
Yeah, they talked. They was like, your mom was like, I finally get to meet Sat, and I hear about you all the time. But I never got to meet you in this type of situation. I said, I'm sorry, it's not under better circumstances.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also, I got to be away from work for a couple of days.
I can't deal with her.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, that was with Jackson.
Oh, yeah, no, that was with Jackson. That's right. That's right.
Another time when she just showed up, because, I didn't talk about that, but I hemorrhaged after Jackson. Yeah. So, like, you know how, you probably don't, but if you've had babies, you're supposed to bleed for, like, a week and a half, 2 weeks afterwards. I was bleeding for a few months. Like, I went back to work at 3 months, and I was still bleeding then. Yeah. So, I ended up having...
I forgot. That's right.
I hemorrhaged. I was hemorrhaging at home. I ended up at the hospital 2 or 3 times. My mama came down on that third one and was like... All right, we about to figure this out. But on that second one, it was when our friend picked me up, because William wasn't here. He was like either at work or whatever. He called his friend and said, hey, go pick her up and take her to the hospital. So when he takes me to the hospital, he's sitting there holding the baby that's like 3 weeks old at this point. Then she shows up from work and says, who is this? Why are you holding the baby? And I'm like, this is such and such, and this, it's our friend. And she was like, well, hey, give me that. Took the baby. Took Jackson from him. Like, he didn't just come over here. He came over on 2 wheels, too, to pick me up. He was here minutes.
He was a super supportive friend, and I didn't know him.
No, and I was like, I'm going to put this towel down on the seat to make sure I don't bleed all over your car. But, like, you should have took this baby from him.
The truth of the matter is, I was trying to take Jackson. When she found out she was pregnant, I was like, great.
Already trying to take my baby from me.
Yes, because I was not having another kid, and we needed a boy.
And you didn't have no boys.
I didn't have no boys, and I was like, you can have another one. You're young, you're vibrant, and I'm so glad I didn't take that child, because when you had that second one, oh my God. The experience you went through, there was no way you would be like, give me my baby back. Not that she would have done it. Her husband,
I gotta keep that. He was side-eyeing Satin for a minute after she said she was gonna take him. She was like, should we let her babysit him?
Yeah, should we let her keep him?
I'm like, I don't know, but she really all we got right now.
She'll give him back.
We'll see.
And then what you were experiencing in your body, you was like, if she have him a few more extra days, I really am okay with that right now. Yeah. Especially after you had Jaden. You was like, she could keep him. Because right now,
you can have everybody.
Everybody. And the people in my household would have loved him.
I know they still do.
Yeah, absolutely. But yes, pre and postpartum, when you start thinking about the difficulties that most women face, it becomes in their body, it becomes in their mind, it becomes in their emotions and their will, and then also thinking about the support system, and then as we talked about, the mom guilt.
Yes.
And going against the norms, and the plan just doesn't pan out.
It doesn't pan out all the time.
It doesn't pan out all the time.
So takeaway message:
yes,
prepartum you and postpartum you are not the same person.
that's right.
And I don't need you to have all these expectations of what's going to happen after you have a baby.
That's right.
You're just going to do the best you can, okay?
That's right.
Do the best you can. And if you feel like, I know when you go to the doctor, they're going to be looking at you like, are you experiencing any symptoms of depression? And you might be
no.
like, you might say no. But
Right.
listen, if you are feeling joyless,
Yes.
you look at your baby and you're never happy to see this baby.
Right.
If you're anxious, and then some people, you do get a little anxious because you just want to make sure the baby's okay.
Yes.
But when it gets to the point where you can't sleep when the baby sleeps because you're anxious that something's going to happen to
Right.
them. When it's extra anxiety, like you're afraid that you're going to hurt them in any way, you need to tell your doctor.
Yes.
Don't be like me. Tell your doctor, okay?
Yes.
You need to call them up and be like, listen, I think I'm having some issues. I need an appointment.
Yes. They used to say this in the introductory therapy class. If you feel like you're going to hurt yourself or others, and that's the
Call.
truth. And I mean, reach out.
Because
Absolutely.
yeah.
It was.
Don't let it happen to you.
Yes, because there are resources, and you can, even if you don't have an immediate village, you can find one.
Yes, you can. And therapy
Yes.
is a great resource because now I'm still talking to her about this stuff, and she's like, let's talk more. Let's keep on this
That's right.
track.
And as we talked about before, the online support that you can get now, like through
It's way
the
different than
support
it was when
groups,
we were
yes.
younger.
And then
Yeah.
even you can go online and you can find support groups around your area.
area, yeah.
Yes, that you need. So if you need help,
Yeah, you
that's
find
the
some
takeaway
mom
message.
groups or some babies, some people that had babies at the same time as you, and you can
Right.
go on walks. Y'all take the kids to a picnic, or
Yes.
if y'all just go out and sit in the sun together, because
Yes.
like going outside is crucial.
Yes, the
For
sun.
you and
oh
the
God,
baby.
yes.
You and the baby need the
Yes.
vitamin D. But yes. So the take home message, in case y'all forgot,
Yes.
don't be sitting up in your house sad,
Yeah.
thinking that this is normal after you have a baby. That
That's
baby
right.
blues nonsense, ain't nothing blue about it. You
Ain't
sad.
nothing blue about it. You
and
sad.
You need some medication.
That's right.
Okay? You need some medication, some Jesus, and some therapy.
Yes. Sometimes 1, 2, all 3.
Sometimes all 3. Okay?
That's right. That's right.
Because
Absolutely.
don't sit up here and think that I'm weak because I'm feeling this way and that
Yeah.
I'm not strong enough to handle being a mother. No. No,
Yes.
you are. You
Some
just need
things
some
don't come
support.
natural.
And that's okay. You need some support and you need to go get it.
That's right. Absolutely.
Don't let it happen to you.
Let it happen to you. I agree.
All right.
Thank you guys for joining.
That's enough fussing.
Sure, but it's true.
It is true.
It's true.
Find your village and utilize them.
Yes.
Use your support in every way that you can.
I agree. Thank you guys for joining us for episode 23, where we talked about pre and postpartum me.
Yes. Go like, follow, share, subscribe,
Yes.
and such. Bye. Bye.